If you're looking to increase muscle mass, strength, and functionality, the fitness industry likes to make things complex. There are dozens of exercises. Unilateral is better for balance. Deadlifts are a must for strength. Rowing makes your posture better, and squats improve your hip mobility. Well, how do you decide what to aim for? It's simple. First off, you cover the basics. Prioritize fundamental compound movements before you reach out to less important alternatives. The problem we're trying to fix here is complexity. As a kinesiologist, I work with over 40 clients daily, and I see the confusion in their eyes. They have no idea on how to structure their program if I let them to. So what we want to do with this video is to focus on the top 5 most important exercises that help you build the base for your strength training. These are the 5 exercises that give you the best return on investment, that amateurs should build their base upon, and pro-level athletes should definitely train and improve upon to increase their athletic performance. These are suitable for all facets of conditioning, be it strength, hypertrophy, functionality, or even muscle endurance. We'll list the 5 top basic movement patterns and one of the best exercise for each. Let's dive into it. First, we'll split exercises into isolation and compound. Isolation exercises like biceps curls are considered open chain exercises. There's one joint that's working. In this case, it's about elbow flexion. It's one specific muscle group like the biceps here that's targeted. Then we have compound movements like the squat, for example, that's considered a multi-joint or closed chain exercise, incorporating a large portion of muscle mass. For many beginners, and I'd consider anyone below 2 to 3 years of consistent training in the gym a beginner, compound work will get you the most benefits. Compound exercises are where the majority of the focus should be at. These stimulate higher amount of muscle mass, they help you activate the central nervous system better, improve one's functionality and enhance mobility. They help you build stability, awareness, and co-activate numerous muscles at the same time. It's insane how many benefits they provide. A little disclaimer, progressing onto heavier loads should be done under a guidance of a personal trainer or kinesiologist very slowly. At first, the focus is on correct technique and movement biomechanics, and then you slowly progress into adding more weight. I think this is something we all know, but just to say it out there. Exercise number 1 is, of course, the deadlift. Deadlifts are, in terms of movement patterns, the deadlift is a hip hinge. We're basically trying to extend our hips forward using the glutes and hamstrings primarily. It is the best all-arounder exercise for improving maximal strength, lower body strength and stability, and building the whole back portion of your body. Used in the right context, it is an essential one for spinal health, and it can improve your posture. The deadlifts train our ability to push and extend our hips forward, fixing numerous muscle imbalances and weak spots that are common in those who sit a lot. It primarily targets the glutes, the hamstrings, the calves, and all the back muscles. This improves our ability to stand up straight, to position ourselves properly, to extend forward, to improve posture, to climb up the stairs, jump higher, absorb shock better, and even lift heavy objects from the ground up. The most important rule when deadlifting is to keep the bar as close to the body and center of gravity so the lever on the spine is smaller. Next thing is increasing intra-abdominal pressure before lifting, straightening up the spine and focusing on driving the weight up with your legs. Exercise number 2 is the squat. In terms of movement patterns, the squat can be either hip or knee dominant way of hip hinging, so we train both hip and knee extension at the same time, but the ratio depends on which one is dominant. It's a foundational exercise to improve your full body functionality, to train the primal movement pattern we all lose with time, which is the squat. It's essential to build lower body strength and build the legs. It's a foundational exercise that helps you build your lower body both in terms of strength and muscle mass. It helps you increase awareness and stability. It's the number 2 in terms of muscles activated, primarily targeting muscles of the legs like quads, hamstrings, and glutes. But it also works a lot on the core stabilizers and including also abdominal and back muscles all at once. Can't think of a better exercise for building lower body strength and also relieving tension in the hips and low back. It's the primary exercise that athletes should focus on in terms of improving the ability to jump higher, the ability to sprint faster, to absorb shock, to change direction, etc. Which is what athletes want, right? The squat is great for becoming more functional. It enhances hip mobility, a common deficit in many sitters. It's the base that builds your lower body strength and overall strength, since it activates such a large portion of muscle mass. It's also great for hip, ankle, and core stability and strength, which help prevent falls and injuries. Then we have the push motion for the upper body, and the 2 most complete exercises here are the bench press, which is your horizontal pushing motion, and the overhead press, which is a vertical pushing motion. Both target similar muscles, but a bench press is a little bit more focused on the chest area, while the overhead press targets the shoulders a bit more. These exercises, besides helping you functionally, like the horizontal push helps you defend yourself and pass a ball or throw something or push off a heavy door, push yourself off the desk when you're standing up. The vertical push helps you lift objects above head, like when you're lifting your kids up or when you're having a high shelf you need to position an object on. These exercises don't just target and isolate specific muscles, they work on numerous different muscles like the rotator cuff and scapular stabilizers, helping you build functional, solid, and strong shoulders. The bench press is key for building the frontal part, the chest, and the triceps. It trains the ability to push objects away from your body. The overhead press is way more taxing, as going for heavier loads emphasizes forces core activation, which makes it harder to only isolate the shoulders. Nonetheless, it's a great exercise for full body strength, training the ability to push and extend overhead. Then the 4th one, we have the pull for the upper body. So this can also be horizontal, like the seated horizontal row, or a vertical pull down, something like the lat pull down or pull-ups. Pulling motions are extremely important for building the back portion of your body, so specifically back muscles, which help you straighten up and correct your posture. The problem with the current sedentary lifestyle is we are hunched forward on our monitors, typing on our keyboards, and our back erectors are very weak. This causes a kyphotic-like posture, and strengthening up the back muscles help us extend and open up our chest. Besides helping with posture, all these rowing-like exercises help you with movements that has to do with pulling objects towards your body. Whether you're trying to open a heavy door, pull your partner towards you, open the fridge door, which sometimes is stuck, or you're pulling your Starbucks coffee towards you, it's all that. These work on muscles like the lower rhomboids, the posterior deltoids, latissimus dorsi, and rotator cuff muscles, and all the complex intertwined back muscles. Whatever pull exercises we do, the focus is clear. To really target the correct scapular retracting muscles, we need to do 3 things. Lower our shoulders to deactivate our traps, chest up and try to squeeze our shoulder blades together to really target the key muscles instead of mindlessly pulling with the arms. The last group of movements is focused on the core. Core stability can really be trained with all the previous 5 exercises we've listed below, especially in the overhead press and the deadlifts during the squats. The core really works, so you can build a strong core doing just the proper amount of sort of tightening and co-activating during these other exercises. However, You can also include a core-specific exercises, especially at the end of your workout, which sort of help you define those muscles around the core, so obliques and six-pack abs, but also help you build a stronger foundation that improves stability in your body. The core is central to connecting the dots of your body, so it provides you with stability and it keeps your spine healthy. It sort of pieces it all together, helping you to stay in one piece, if that makes sense. So hopefully you train it and hopefully it works. Most of the core exercises help sort of prevent or push against three things, and that's flexion, extension, or rotation. And here's what I mean by that. Anti-rotation is an exercise that involves core activation to counteract rotation. Such are the regular anti-rotation, Pallof press, or plank rotations. Anti-flexion or anti-lateral flexion exercises includes deadlifts, side planks, suitcase carry, farmer's carry, and good mornings in which the core resists flexion. Anti-extension exercises are wheel rollouts, front planks, bear planks, body saw, Swiss ball rollouts, dead bugs, etc. To recap, the 5 exercises that'll give you the best return on investments are the deadlifts. You can consider it the pull for the legs, the squats, the push for the legs, upper body push like a bench press or an overhead press. Then you have the pull, which can be horizontal like a seated row or a lat pull down. And then you have some sort of a core stabilizer like an anti-rotation or a dead bug or a farmer's carry, for example. That's not to say that isolation exercises don't make sense. Sometimes they're great for getting more pumps, for really targeting and isolating a specific muscle. In many cases, they're also great for sort of training the muscle without taxing the nervous system. They can be found helpful in rehab, but generally speaking, compound movements will give you that base of strength. It will improve your functionality, you'll become more mobile, you'll become stronger, and you'll have higher return on investment because you're incorporating a large amount of muscle mass. It's close-chained compound exercises that many people should focus on perfecting. The more amateur you are, the more you want to stick to the basics. The better you get, the more additional complementary exercises you can include. Before you go, you can check out this article. It's exactly covering this topic, the only 5 exercises you need to build a strong, solid foundation. You'll get a little bit more of the juice in each exercise in detail, and there is an extra session teaching you how to structure your training properly based on what you already know. Thank me later or now by liking this video. That'd be good.